It's what we need, guys. It's what we need. We can't help on this enough. I mean, we really need to create an opportunity for entry-level buyers. What Mr. McCoy is saying here in this article and being quoted on saying is so true, but it's so important to us for the health of our real estate market.
This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
Where are Las Vegas Valley home prices rising and dropping? And this was written by our good friend Patrick Blenner-Hassett just about a week ago. And in it, he goes on to say 3/4 of the zip codes in Southern Nevada have seen home price declines year over year, according to a new study. Most of the zip codes, 74%, that saw the largest per square foot median price decline in the valley include parts of the Las Vegas Strip, where there aren't a lot of single-family houses, but ample number of high-rises and condominiums and apartments, according to a new study by UNLV Lied Center for Real Estate. The zip code with the biggest decline was 89158. That's 17.5%.
Wow.
Which is located between 15 and Las Vegas and the Strip, encompassing such properties Park MGM and Aria Sky Suites. The zip code with the second biggest decline was 89109. I know that's MGM, which encompasses large properties on the Strip, which include MGM Grand and Caesars Palace. And that was followed by 89119, which is also down there, and 89103. And those are just roughly around 10%. But one of them actually out near Summerlin Parkway, 89145, down 9.3%. The zip code with the strongest gains are largely located on the eastern side, 89101 and 89156. But it tells you how local real estate is, right? I mean, you've got zip codes going up 10%, and you got zip codes going down 10%. Right in the same valley. And so it really does. That just tells you.
Yeah, we finally reached that part. We talked about this a few years ago. We reached that part where we're a big city.
Indeed.
We're now a big. Normally in the past, you'd have seen real estate increase across the valley.
Yeah.
And if it was increasing, everywhere was increasing. Now you're seeing the fluctuations based on where people want to live, the economic impact of those areas.
Yeah.
Just like we see from California cities or other.
Yeah. We're a major metropolitan area now. We're a monster, a bit of a monster here. And you know what it does, Rick, for me as a realtor, it makes me believe that as a realtor, we need to start thinking about specializing within the valley much more so than just being a realtor for the whole valley.
Right.
And I think that's hard for me to be an expert in all areas because there's a lot. There's a lot going on here.
I mean, you go back 15, 20 years ago, how many high-rises did we have?
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, indeed.
I mean, that's a whole segment in itself.
And that segment in and of itself is something that if you're a realtor, you need to know what you're doing before you take buyers down there because that's a completely different animal than a single-family home. It really is. It says Las Vegas could have been ground zero for an overall national trend, price deceleration for homes becoming more of the norm than the exception to the end of the year, said Sean McCoy, one of the authors of the study, along with Nick Irwin, who's one of our returning guests at UNLV. So look, again, what it says is that something that Mark Stark used to say on the show all the time is that real estate is local, hyper-local. It's really not only means zip codes. It comes down to your neighborhood. Your neighborhood could be different than the one next door, even depending upon its location in the zip code. Are you adjacent to a major freeway, or are you near a school? Those things all impact values.
There's a lot of factors that impact value, and back to what you said earlier too about, we're brought up that we're down 10% as far as sales. And flip over to the other side. Are we? Or is this the new norm of the amount of transactions that we're going to do? Because we've seen it now for 3 years.
It's true. Right? You're right.
We're comparing this to 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Not to what we've seen over the last 3 years. If we continue on this trend, then this is
our market.
This is our market, and this is what we have to deal with.
Yep.
I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think that we're still in a down time. Now mortgages are starting to catch up to there's a lot of 3% out there, but there's also a lot of the higher ones out there now, and the more higher interest rates that are out there, when we get to a certain tipping point, we're going to start seeing more and more properties be available for sale, and more people want to move because there's not payment shock anymore. Yeah. So we're starting to, we're in the beginning stages of that, and it looks like that, we're priming ourselves for a good run here.
I think so. I think you're right. I think that there is a greater acceptance of current mortgage rates than there was a year ago or 2 years ago. People are understanding and accepting of the fact that, we may not see 3% again.
Right.
And now some people aren't. They're just their heads in the sand, and they're hoping and believing we're going to see 3%. God forbid we have another pandemic, we're not seeing it again. And I think there is a greater acceptance of it, and it's still. Even like I was just talking with somebody yesterday about a buyer about rates, and they were telling me they got quotes of 6.5 to 7.5, depending upon a variety of factors. And I kept thinking to myself, gee, I thought I heard better than that, but I checked with one of my lenders, and yeah, that's where they are right now. It's about 6.5.
Yeah, it's
apparently.
all depending. I mean, obviously with the mortgages, depending on the different factors, how much your down payment, all those different things. So,
your credit score, everything affects it.
Right, but I mean, if you go back and look, you look right before the pandemic hit, or a year before that. I mean, rates were at 4.5%, 5%.
Yeah,
and that market was a really good market at that time.
Indeed.
So we're trending. Not that we're going to hit that. I don't think we'll go that low.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to see at some point in time in the 5s, and that's going to really
supercharge things.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I agree. I think that's what's going to happen. Is once we see them into 5, people are going to get excited. They're going to jump in. Even those with a 3 or 3 and change are going to say, you know what, I can do that. And that's where I want to be. And if they need to make the move, the only people moving right now, honestly, are people who have to move.
Right.
They got to move because they're, for whatever reason, they got to move. McCoy added, I'm reading back to the article. McCoy added, however, those looking to buy starter homes or enter the real estate market for the first time may not be seeing price drops in the real world just yet. That segment of the market maybe is not as impacted as some of the other segments. We suspected much of the overall price decline is likely being driven by reductions among homes priced above the median. And I think he's right. If that's the case, buyers targeting homes below the median may not necessarily see the meaningful price relief. However, that relief may be right around the corner. That's what we were just saying.
Right.
I think it is coming. I think that you're going to see. Plus, I think that builders are going to. I mean, look, the thing about the economy is that supply and demand dictate that the builders are going to start to understand the nature of the need for entry-level housing, and that's where they're going to make their money. That's where they're going to have to. Now, the land has to be priced accordingly.
Yeah, I think the biggest factor, land and materials for them.
Right.
And it's hard to believe sometimes it's cheaper to build a luxury home than it is to build a starter home.
Well, I think the return's better.
Right, the return for them is definitely better.
It's I think there is and we need to create incentives for that to not be the case. And we need entry level. We could really go with just a boatload of townhomes in this valley right now. We just need that's really what we want. That was my entry-level house.
Well, my entry-level home in this whole neighborhood was built this way. There was nothing bigger than 1,500 square feet.
Yeah.
The smallest home was 1,000 square feet. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,000 square feet.
Ideal.
The 1,500 square foot model, remember, was a 2-story.
There you go.
And it was a 3-bedroom and a loft.
Wow.
But they were, smaller rooms.
Yeah.
But they were good entry-level homes that people could buy, build wealth,
right,
and then either rent them or sell them when they moved into their next home.